Let's look at Weimar Germany in the 1920s. Crushed by the Treaty of Versailles and plagued by hyperinflation that turned savings into dust, the young republic was a political powder keg. The streets of Berlin became battlegrounds. In this melting pot of chaos, the Nazi Party created its shock troops, the Sturmabteilung, or SA. More than just protesters, the brown shirts were the party's iron fist, attacking opponents and creating a show of force that the democratic government seemed unable to match. For thousands of disappointed veterans and unemployed young men, the SA offered a uniform, a purpose, and a clear enemy. Weimar Germany saw the Sturmabteilung march not just as soldiers of a party, but as a sign of a state eating itself, paving the way for a new and terrible order. Decades later, a shadow war unfolded in Latin America. Deep in the Cold War's polarization, the region became a chessboard for the US and the Soviet Union. The conflict wasn't fought by regular armies, but by secret forces. Latin America saw militias operating like shadows. From Nicaragua to Colombia, right-wing death squads, often supported by Western agencies, hunted subversives, union members, students, journalists. They were the unrecognized weapon of authoritarian regimes, responsible for the disappearance of tens of thousands of the disappeared. On the other hand, left-wing guerrillas, inspired by Cuba, waged their own brutal campaigns against the state. On both sides, the logic was the same. All-out war where there were no civilians, only fighters or collaborators. At the same time, in Europe, a religious conflict burned in Northern Ireland. During the Troubles, distrust between the Protestant and Catholic communities eroded faith in state institutions. For many loyalists, the police and British Army didn't protect them from the IRA's campaign. Feeling under attack, they turned to their own organizations. In Northern Ireland, the Ulster Volunteer Force, or UVF, controlled territories. They enforced their own brutal law in working-class neighborhoods, patrolling streets and executing suspected Republicans. Their murals declared loyalty not to the state, but to their community. They waged a parallel sectarian war, turning cities like Belfast into a patchwork of hostile territories where official authority was, at best, a visitor. Weimar, Latin America, Northern Ireland. Different settings, different beliefs, but a recurring pattern. The Sturmabteilung, the death squads, the UVF, all thrived where the state's control of violence broke down. They are the armed manifestation of distrust, the violent response to a power vacuum. Each era